G'day everyone, welcome to Bonsai Mates with Castian. Right now, basically, we're gonna just have a little chat about what is training when you're doing training of a bonsai, which is usually the beginning steps, so it's good to do it now. What we've got, well, today I'm actually working inside, so I tried to make a little display, but I've got a couple back here, juniper or shimpaku. I've got the rubber ficus there, evergreen ficus here, and good old Benjamina. This is the same one that my mate's done. Like I said, just training. The example of training is your training pot and training wire to get the desired shape while it's young, and stumping it and shaping it the way you want. Like, this still has a lot of growth to go. Another example, not in a training pot, but still in training. I've got the wire wrapped around, making the iconic S shape, which could be a bit tighter. You can just slightly bend it in. It's a very good wire. Just bit more of an S shape, then that'll thicken up as well. With the wire, when you put it around your trunks and your branches, it will get thicker, so that's a bonus. It can devour it, so some people leave it on. I take it off after a while. I don't like the marks too much, but the swelling that it creates is pretty good. Another example is this one. Same thing, iconic S shape, and in the back there is a larger one. It's not exactly an example of training, but it's training to be a standard without the S shape. Try and move it over a little. This one, it's a bit thicker. So apart from all that, the two at the back here, they're also in training examples. Even though it's in a nice pot and it looks like it's pretty much ready to go, I won't reach back and grab it. But this one, and same as this one, comes down. It's basically training to go into a cascade pot. This pot is a nice deep pot and was standard for what I needed it to do. The other one is still in a larger, shallower pot, but it's just getting its shape, growing a lot of new growth, which will thicken it up as well, and is also wrapped. I don't know if you can see the wrapping around some of them with the lighting, but sorry if it's loud as well, working inside. So, this is what I'm pretty much gonna start off. It's very, very young, this one, so not everyone would start off shaping it at this age. If anything, letting it grow would be the better option. Very, very small, and I'm not exactly using the thinnest of wire, so I'm going to try not to do too much damage here. Should be alright though. So I'm going to just do a quick pre-spiral. Not everyone does this. I just do it sometimes because it sort of helps just get a bit of a whistle. Helps get around everything. Wonder what that sounded like. I'll find out in the replay. Anyways, so I've just made the spiral. It's a bit thicker wire than I would usually use. Sort of get it in, and at the same time spiral into the ground a little where the root system is. Just let it get a hold. There, I'm left with about that, so right now that's what I've got. Just going to bring it closer so I can, to myself, quickly pull this and tension it up a bit. Alright. So there's a little bit of wire. This isn't exactly training example. Just going to use my mini pliers to get a better wrap. Sometimes the fingers won't do it. But right now I'm just going to go for bend over there, let this one come out, let some foliage come out some more, and eventually bring this around to slowly start that iconic S, or I could even train it to bring this one up and just have a standard bonsai small look tree. Keep topping and pruning, which would be like cutting it, not too much obviously, like just here possibly, but not right now, still very young. But the main point of training is wire is training, your pots is training, so it's not all about the trunk. The Nimbari is also training and doing its thing, which is why you have your training pots. Or you can use your deep pots, keeping it growing it bigger, because they will grow bigger in a deeper pot like this, or even in the ground or a larger pot. They grow bigger, faster, but you'll be dealing with a very big root system. So this is where training comes in, and you just have your training pots to achieve small things similar to this, and then eventually they will get bigger to hopefully the desired shape. Just a quick example of getting bigger. This one here has gotten a lot bigger since I got it last year. It's a little bit more thicker, an actual almost finger thickness. And that's just comparison to your basic really thin starting, but it'll get there. Alrighty. I believe that's all I can really talk about when it comes to training. You're training pots, you're training your branches and your stem. You're training it all. It's not just one thing. Like if I'm going a cascade, I'll use a cascade training pot possibly. If I want something in a really shallow dish, I may just keep the dishes that I train in as shallow as possible. I also, you can find little yogurt tubs and cut them. They're real small. Start training in that. Alright, also for more luscious trees, plant in a bigger pot or a deeper pot, and it will achieve pretty much what you're after. To achieve a smaller plant with smaller pots, absolutely the way to go. That's why they give you, or not give you, why you buy these very cheap and inexpensive training pots. Because while you're training as well, and if you're a beginner, last thing you want to do is stumble around, maybe drop a pot and it breaks. These are very durable. I've pulled a few plants out, dropped them, and they haven't broke. They just bounce around, and it'll be much more of a headache to get something like this again if I accidentally drop it. Anyways, that was today's episode of Bonsai Mates. Shot indoors for the noise purpose liking, hopefully. It's not as good as outside. I do like the sound of the waterfall going, but for now it's an indoors, it's raining, I can bring these in, it's only a quick display. So Bonsai Mates, hope you enjoyed bonsai training today.